Hey, what's up guys, it's Al here, and this is my unboxing and review of the Oppo A9 2020 after over a month of use. It's one of the new mid-range devices that we've seen from the brand, and in this video I'll be sharing with you guys the pros and cons. As always, I'll have my timestamps in the description so you can skip ahead to sections of this review that you want to get quickly informed about. Without further ado, let's get to the video. The A9 2020 was released in late September this year, and it's been 2 months so far. I've had it for half that time now, and I'll be sharing my thoughts as well as things I liked and things I felt could be improved upon. Starting with the unboxing, inside the box of the A9 2020 we have a mini box that has inside it a few things. First thing is the SIM ejector tool, safety guide, a quick guide to help with setting up, and last but not least is a rubber case which has a raised front on all 4 corners and looks pretty protective with the precise cutouts. Underneath all that is the Oppo A9 2020 itself with the inscriptions over it: 48 megapixel ultra wide camera, 8 GB of RAM, 128 GB of storage, which is huge, 5000 mAh batteries, Dolby Atmos speakers, almost 90,000 naira, approximately $250. Taking the paper layer, we uncover the accessories, which are the charging brick, headphones, and the charging cables, which are thick. When we take the wrap off the Oppo A9 2020, we get the 6.5-inch glossy panel, very flush grain material on here. It kind of gives me the Oppo F11 Pro vibes, but this model is a newer model with little more finesse, if you will. I like the shimmer and the angles. It has this, edges, and they look very nice. I'll be getting back to it. There's nothing on top of the Oppo A9 2020, and on the right side is where we get the colored power button. On the left side is where we get the SIM slot and the volume rockers. And what I like about this side is the etched line that is carved inside. It makes it look really different in a way. You have a full dual SIM slot section with port for 2 nano SIMs and an SD card. This guy is expandable up to 256 GB on this dedicated slot. And the bottom is where we get the headphone jack, microphone port, USB-C, which is capable of reverse charging, and the speaker grill. The Oppo A9 2020 has stereo speaker setup on here. When I watched videos on it, I really loved it, and more about that later in this video. The front of the A9 2020 has embedded in a dewdrop notch a single 16 megapixel selfie camera with the earpiece above it, and there's also an additional screen protector on top of it. On the back of the A9 2020 we get the whole 4 camera section: 48 megapixel sensor, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel depth sensor, and another 2 megapixels which is going to help for macros. The fingerprint reader is beneath all that, and the logo with the design inscription. General color options for the A9 2020 include marine green and space purple, which is what we have here. I'm a big fan of the design language of the Oppo A9 2020. The colored power button, the edge side of it, makes it look very great, and even down to the bottom of the phone, it's flat and it stands on its own. It took 2 minutes to set up the A9 2020 with the fingerprint reader, and from there we get to ColorOS 6.1, which is based on Android 9. When it comes to the display of the Oppo A9 2020, the front looks flush to the bottom, and it's only the bottom bezel that was quite a bit tall. We're looking at a 6.5-inch display with an 82.5% screen to body ratio. Resolution is not so high at 720 by 1600, PPI of 270, 20 by 9 aspect ratio display to be exact. You get to hide the notch, but from specific apps it's also kind of hidden. I didn't see any traces of dark mode on this guy, and as far as the notification section, you get some limited options, but you can still customize it to add a few things. The navigation keys are on by default, but if you want gestures, in the navigation settings you can choose the swipe up gestures, so you can swipe from both sides, and it even comes with a mini animated tutorial, which is a nice touch. Swipe up gestures also come with pictorial onboarding and virtual keys, which almost everyone is used to. I'm personally not a fan of gestures, so I won't be using it. I'm stuck to the virtual keys. You get to customize or change from the default app or standard view to the drawer view. In the app view, you can only go from left to right depending on how many apps you have, and on the drawer view, however, or the drawer mode, which also incorporates the standard mode, you get an app drawer that you can swipe up if that's what you're into or that's what you're used to, and you also get to sort them out by their initial letters if you've got that many apps as well. There's also the smart sidebars that lets you call up on a few apps and features like taking a screenshot or screen recording, which is how you can pretty much natively screen record unless you download a third-party app. Down to the multitasking, when you split screen, it only shows you all the other apps available for half screen mode, and it's not adjustable, so it's 50-50. Viewing videos on it definitely looks okay. Of course, your YouTube videos are capped at 720p, but you are able to view native 1080p videos. It even shoots at 4K from the camera, so that's also possible when you want to preview natively. But in my opinion, what it lacks in video, it makes up for with it in audio. It sounds great with the dual Dolby Atmos speakers. And speaking of sound quality, I tested out the microphone and speakers. It's not the most comprehensive test, but here's how it sounds. Alright guys, so this is how the Oppo A9 2020 sounds. It's in the same position. I'll hold it when I'm making a phone call. Do let me know what you think about the sound quality in the comment section down below. The sound quality of the Oppo A9 2020 was definitely a plus for me. Again, the fact that we get stereo speakers is great. Even if you block one speaker, it still sounds okay from the second one up top at the notch area. And I must say it sounded loud, but a bit thin. I couldn't really hear the bass and the kicks as much when compared to the actual monitored sound. However, the microphone sounded good, nothing too major in that aspect, but it definitely performed when recording audio for video natively. It also comes with headphones, and when I tested them out for a video shoot, they sounded good as well. With regards to the specs of the A9 2020, we're giving the octa-core Snapdragon 665 and 11nm chip with an accompanying Adreno 610 graphics processor. My model here comes with 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage, which is quite a lot to get for 89,900 naira, or approximately $250. This is the maxed out model, and any other model, the lesser model, is 4 gigs of RAM and 120 gigs of storage, which I didn't really find on the market, but for conversions that's like 87,000 naira or $241. I like that they didn't compromise. They give you Bluetooth 5.0 as well, and for my day-to-day performance, I didn't experience apps crashing on me, and using it mostly was pleasant. On the heavier side, when it comes to gaming, it's got Game Boost, which is meant to enhance the performance of the game alongside network stability and stop any other distractions in terms of notifications or calls coming in. 15 minutes of gameplay took about 5%, which is pretty fair. I mean, it's got 5,000 mAh batteries, and my normal 30 minutes gaming session usually takes about 10%. So I'd say this is pretty fair, or maybe average. You could notice a few pixels in the graphics on this game, which isn't such a bad thing, but it's noticeable if you're pixel peeping. This is because, of course, it's a 720p display, and even PUBG's graphics was set to a default low. The A9 2020 has a massive 5,000 mAh battery. On days where I didn't really use the device much, standby time was almost perfect. With mobile data turned on, it lasted quite long, but normal day-to-day use for me, I could comfortably use this device at the end of the day without charge, but the USB-C port is also capable of reverse charging. So basically, if you have a USB-C cable and your phone's cable, you can just make your phone a power bank. Your device can help with that. With the help of OTG as well, you can transfer files between the phones and do other stuff. The A9 2020 comes with an 18-watt charger. Some people were reporting a 3-hour charge. For me, it took 2 hours and 30 minutes. For the breakdown, it took 30 minutes to go from 0 to 22%, another 30 minutes to get to 40%, another 30 minutes to get to 58%, then another 30 minutes to 75%, and the last one to get to 100%. So yeah, 2 hours and 30 minutes to get from 0 to 100 in my tests. Also, the fingerprint reader was decently fast to unlock the device as well. Face unlock, which is not infrared, was fast, although I did have fingerprint reader, which was more convenient and more secure, and is what I recommend. As I mentioned earlier, we get a 16 megapixel f2.0 front camera that shoots at 1080p at the max, and we get an array of cameras at the back: 48 megapixel wide camera, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel depth sensor to help for macro shots right beneath that flash. Simplicity is key when it comes to the UI and the camera modes on here. The front camera and the back camera both have video, photo, and portrait mode as the main settings. Then there's an extra setting in the hamburger menu to the left, and on the back camera we get the array of extras like night mode, expert mode, which is like pro mode, slow motion, and more. While in front we only get panorama, time lapse, and sticker mode in addition to the 3. Indoor selfies are fine in my opinion. It doesn't preserve a lot of quality, but it retains some sharpness itself. Outside, the image was definitely sharper. It does come with a lot of exposure, and this is seen in portrait mode as well. Of course, you can adjust it. 48 megapixel shots are usually 1/3 in the spec list. Normal shots are like 6 megabytes, while 48 megapixel shots are like 9 megabytes on your phone. And when you zoom in, you get 2 levels of zoom on normal shots. 12 megapixels, and you get 3 levels of zoom on the 48 megapixel shots. Ultra wide shots from the 8 megapixel lens, like more recent mid-rangers, is also a little discolored. And moving up to the 1x lens, there's a ton of increase in natural sharpness, then it results back to the former quality in the 2x lens, which, being fairly sharpened, it still preserves some details in the building, not in the sky like the 1x and the ultra wide. The opposite is sort of the case when it comes to macro objects. The wide angle lens did preserve a lot of colors when it comes to this, and we're sort of seeing the 1x lens being a little washed out and the 2x lens following that suit. I'm also a huge fan of the natural bokeh and background blur that we've got on here. The Oppo A9 2020's cameras are, of course, AI driven. I like that they didn't tout it too much. It definitely captures scenes, whether you're taking a green plant or a bouquet of roses, text and more things to adjust settings based on it. And it also does have the AI in the 48 megapixel camera mode. On skin, the A9 2020 does keep a natural blur, but also smoothing things out quite noticeably in the portrait mode. It does shoot videos in 4K and 1080p or 720p, which looks okay, but they aren't steady or stabilized. You would need stable hands if you want to be moving and shooting a video at the same time. Hey, what's up guys? So this is the front facing camera video quality of the Oppo A9 2020. It's a 16 megapixel f2.0 sensor, and yeah, it actually has the adjustment thing where you can level the background, but this one is also not too harsh in the darkness in the front, which is not bad. I like it. I like the way it looks. Let me know what you guys think about the video quality as well as the sound quality in the comment section down below. That's pretty much it for my Oppo A9 2020 review, guys. What are your thoughts about this device? Would you buy one? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I personally liked a lot of things about it. The build quality, the speaker quality, and my usage over time was good, to name a few things. However, a better display would have made me really want to look forward to carrying this as my daily driver. Do you have any questions about the A9 2020? Do let me know them in the comment section. And if you found this video useful, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications for more videos coming soon. Also follow on social media for all updates, upcoming videos, and a lot more. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.